Howdy, Vault Riders. It's Sam here. You know, I've been watching Westerns since before I could even shave. And I'm telling you, people who say the classics were all just clean-cut heroes and happy endings, well, they never really paid much attention, now did they? The West could be just as mean, messy, and unforgiving as the real thing. And some of the best filmmakers, they weren't afraid to show it. We're kicking off a three-part look at the most brutal Westerns ever made. 36 films in all, split into 3 batches, starting here with the classics. Next, we're going to move on to grindhouse oddities and some cult nasties in part 2, and then wrap up with the modern and global entries that prove that Westerns can still draw blood in the 21st century. We're counting down from high noon to the last man standing, so saddle up, because things are about to get ugly.
Gerald, collect the guns.
What do you want? What are you trying to do?
Shut up, we'll tell you when we want you to talk.
This ain't no stick-up, brother. This is a posse, if that means anything to you.
Well, we haven't done anything.
When people think of brutal Westerns, they usually picture scalping and some blood spray. The Oxbow incident, it proves you don't need any of that to hit like a hammer. This one's about a lynch mob, just plain and simple. A couple of cattle, they've gone missing, and there's talk of murder. And the townsfolk, they get themselves worked into a frenzy.
Well, that's not legal. No deputy has the right to deputize.
How about it, boys?
Suits me, Butch. Go ahead and pray.
Mates, you're violating the law.
Henry Fonda rides along, trying to be the voice of reason.
If you got any doubts, Tedley, I say let's call off this party. Take him back to judge like Davies wants.
But the momentum of the mob justice, it doesn't slow down for reason. 3 men are accused, they're tried on the spot, and sentenced by rope before the truth ever catches up.
It ain't that you're so dangerous, it's just that most of the men ain't never seen a real triple hanging.
A hanging? What have we done?
The hanging scene, it's not that long, but it's suffocating. There's no dramatic rescue, no hero speech to save the day. Just 3 innocent men dropped in the dust while everyone just stands there, breathing hard. What makes it brutal? It's the way it strips away the Western myth. There's no duel in the street, no fair fight, just fear, ignorance, and regret that comes too late. For 1943, showing the good townsfolk as the villains, it's a real kick in the ribs. It's the kind of ending that sends you home quiet, staring at the ground, and realizing sometimes the worst thing in the West, it wasn't the outlaws, it was the crowd.
My dear wife, Mr. Davies will tell you what's happening here tonight. He's a good man and has done everything he can for me. 'Cause it'll be over for me in a little while, but they'll have to go on remembering for the rest of their lives.
Give me his gun. Give it to me! I'll grab his arm.
You ain't gonna kill him, Dave.
Do like I tell you!
Most 50s Westerns, they played by a certain code. Sure, there'd be shootouts and the occasional fist fight. But you weren't supposed to see your hero suffer in like any way that made the audience squirm. The Man from Laramie, it broke that. James Stewart plays a drifter, looking for the men who sold rifles to the Apaches.
Well, maybe this won't be the kind of work you like.
If it's got anything to do with who's selling repeating rifles to the Apaches, I'd like to help.
Rifles that got his brother killed. His search puts him up against a ranch family that runs the territory like their own little kingdom. Then comes the scene everyone remembers. Stewart's character is captured by the sadistic son, and without much ceremony, that guy puts a bullet through his hand. At point-blank range. Yeah, the camera doesn't flinch, and neither does the storytelling. For 1955, this was pretty shocking. A hero, maimed on screen, screaming in pain. And it's not the only cruelty. This film is full of ambushes, betrayals, and sudden bursts of violence that carry real consequences. The director wasn't making a morality play here. He was showing what power and greed did to people out west. In an era when Westerns still wrapped up neat, the man from Laramie made sure that the audience left feeling that even survival came with scars.
The Dutch Creek Massacre.
I wasn't there. I never even heard of it.
My brother was there, along with a whole patrol of kids just like him. And you sold the Apaches the guns they use, and you're just as guilty as if you pulled the trigger yourself.
Did you bring a horse for me?
Well, looks like we're shy of one horse.
Sergio Leone was just a master at stretching a moment. And in Once Upon a Time in the West, he weaponized that patience. You wait, and scenes play out like coiled springs. And when they snap, the violence is quick, shocking, and just mean. The opening massacre at the McBain farm, it says it all. Henry Fonda, long America's wholesome leading man, he walks into frame and shoots an entire family, and then capping it off by gunning down a little boy. Leone lingers just long enough to let the horror sink in before moving on. The rest of the film is steeped in that same inevitability. Charles Bronson's harmonica, he spends like the whole story circling Fonda's villain. Each encounter like a rehearsal for the final act. Killings are never romanticized. They're messy, awkward, and final. Leone gives you the beauty of a wide desert vista and Morricone's unforgettable score, but he also makes it clear that under the mythic scale is a world where life is cheap and cruelty is currency. Even for seasoned Western fans, Fonda's transformation from good guy to child killer remains one of the genre's most unsettling shifts. It's not just a great Western. It's a brutal reminder that in Leone's West, nobody's safe.
Who are you?
What do you want?
What do you want, Angel?
You want Angel, no? All right. I am going to give it to you.
You know, if there's a single Western that changed how violence was shown on screen, it's The Wild Bunch. This is a tale of aging outlaws making one last score, and opens with a robbery just gone bad, and ends with a bloodbath that leaves no one standing. In between, you get dusty Mexican villages, double crosses, and a slow march toward self-destruction. The opening shootout shocked 1969 audiences with its blood squibs and slow-motion deaths, something rarely seen outside of war films. But it's the finale that cemented the film's legend. A Gatling gun mows down dozens in a sustained, chaotic firefight that turns the screen into a cloud of dust and blood and some flying bodies. The director didn't just show violence, he made you feel its weight. His characters aren't noble, they're killers, tired and desperate. And when they go down, it's not heroic, it's a mess. Critics called it excessive. Younger filmmakers called it groundbreaking. Either way, The Wild Bunch marked the moment that Western movies stopped pretending about the cost of pulling a trigger.
I want you to apologize to this. Yes, sir. Can I help you?
If they move, kill them.
In this Western gem, Richard Harris plays an English aristocrat captured by a Sioux tribe. And what starts like a fish-out-of-water adventure, it quickly turns into one of the most infamous rites of passage in movie history. The sunvow scene is the one everyone talks about. Hooks are pierced through Harris's chest, and ropes lift him off the ground. And he's just left hanging there, screaming, in what looks more like a horror sequence than anything from a Hollywood Western. For 1970, this was like almost unthinkable. The rest of the film, it doesn't pull punches either. You got warfare, scalping, the harsh realities of tribal life replace the romanticized noble savage trope. By the end, Harris's character has been transformed, but the path there is lined with physical and psychological pain. The violence here, it's never cartoonish. It's meant to make you wince, to remind you that survival out west, it wasn't for the delicate. When audiences first saw it, a whole bunch of them just walked right out. The ones who stayed probably left with a new respect for just how far a Western could go when it wanted to make you uncomfortable. Man, that sunvow scene, even now it's rough to watch. What's the one Western moment that made you physically wince? And I'm not talking jump scares. We're talking something that stuck with you in your gut. Do me a favor, go throw it in the comments. I want to see which scenes still have that type of punch.
On November 29th, 1864, a unit of Colorado cavalry numbering over 700 men attacked a peaceful Cheyenne village at Sand Creek, Colorado, massacring 500 Indians, more than half of whom were women and children.
Soldier Blue might look like a simple cavalry adventure at first glance, but it's one of the most confrontational Westerns about U.S. history. It builds towards a dramatization of the Sand Creek Massacre, where American soldiers slaughtered Cheyenne village. And Nelson, he doesn't shy away from any of the details. Women and children are shot down, bodies are mutilated, and a pace so relentless, it's just hard to keep watching sometimes. Released during the Vietnam War, the film was a clear metaphor for America's role in modern atrocities, and it sparked outrage for its violence. Some critics saw it as exploitive, others as a necessary wake-up call.
Raise the village. Burn this. Pestilence!
Either way, in the final act, it's just stomach-turning. By ending on that note instead of on any kind of redemptive arc, Soldier Blue makes its point loud and clear. The West wasn't just about gunfights between men. It was about power crushing the powerless, often in ways that the history books softened or ignored. Watching it now, the brutality still lands, and it's easy to see why it rattled 1970 audiences so badly.
Well, we've got to do something.
You can watch.
What are you talking about?
They're gonna rape me, Soldier Blue, and then they're gonna kill us afterwards.
Oh, my God.
Give me that.
You wasn't by any chance married to a no-good bastard with a price on his head, were you?
Raquel Welch in a revenge Western? That might sound like an excuse for some camp.
Look what we got for supper.
But Hannie Caulder, it doesn't play nice. In the opening, Hannie's husband is murdered, and then she's raped by 3 outlaws, and her home is burned to the ground. The assault was handled with the kind of grim bluntness that was rare at the time, and the rest of the film is about her transformation into a gunfighter. Welch brings a steely determination to the role, helped along by Robert Cope as the bounty hunter who trains her.
The way you shoot that gun. Can you teach me?
What for? You want to kill somebody?
Yes.
Horse shit.
The killings, when they come, they ain't glorified. They're personal. Each one is a step towards evening the score.
Strap it on.
Can I put my pants on?
You're not gonna need them for long.
And Welch makes you believe that her character's survival, it depends on it. In 1971, having a female lead drive this kind of violent vengeance story, it was a bit unusual. especially without softening her into a love interest or a comic relief. It's not as graphically bloody as some entries here, but the emotion brutality is heavy. Hannie isn't out for justice. She's out for retribution, and the film never lets you forget why.
Good old time we had back at your place, wasn't it?
Depends on which side of the good old time you were on.
Reason I didn't recognize you right off. I didn't know you with your clothes on.
I would give you the combination to the gates of hell. Dog. Sure had a lot of blood left in him, didn't he?
Eastwood's first Western as a director takes the mysterious stranger trope and he just twists it into something meaner. His character rides into this corrupt mining town of Lago, kills 3 men in cold blood, rapes a woman in broad daylight,
Let go of me! Let go!
and makes the townspeople paint everything red.
I'll paint if you say we got to, but when we get done, this place is gonna look like hell.
From the very start, it's clear this isn't the noble gunslinger of Eastwood's earlier roles. The violence isn't constant, but when it happens, it's cruel. The film's supernatural undertones hint that the stranger might be a ghost or a devil come to punish the townsfolk for past crimes, specifically their complicity in the murder of a marshal. Eastwood lingers on the ugliness of the killings and the cowardice of the townspeople. By the end, Vaga was entirely and figuratively burning, and the stranger rides away, leaving nothing behind but the wreckage. For audiences used to tidy morals, High Plains Drifter was gut-wrenching. The hero, he wasn't just flawed, he was terrifying.
Who are you?
Well, look at you, you're still here, aren't you? You're clearly not scared off by a little moral rot. Well, you might as well stick around for the rest of these films. Why don't you go hit the subscribe button for me? And also remember, never squat in the desert with your spurs on. Gene Hackman plays this wealthy cattle baron whose wife is kidnapped by Oliver Reed's outlaw gang. But the real danger, it isn't the outlaws, it's Hackman, who uses a long-range rifle to pick off Reed's men one by one, shooting them in the head and through the eyes from hundreds of yards away. The kills are graphic, especially for early 1970s, and just each one feels colder than the last. The kidnapping itself is ugly, with Bergen's character assaulted by Reed, then forming a complicated bond with him as Hackman closes in. The violence escalates until nearly every character is dead or mutilated, and the ending offers just no relief. The film blends exploitation grit with revisionist Western grit, making it feel nastier than most of its peers. It's a reminder that brutality in Westerns doesn't have to come from the bad guys alone. Sometimes the rich, respectable man in town, he's the most dangerous of all.
Go, man, Matt? No. This'll do it. 700-800 yards. You mean to say that we go up against them? Up close, no. But from a distance.
It feels like times have changed.
Times, maybe. Not me.
This movie slows things down a bit, turning the Pat Garrett, Billy the Kid story into a melancholy death march. But when the violence hits, it's direct and final. You have ambushes, point-blank shootings, and drawn-out deaths punctuate the film. none more famous than Slim Pickens' gut shot scene. He wanders to a riverside and bleeds out while his wife looks on, all set to Dylan's Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Feel I'm knocking up on heaven's door.
It's quiet, devastating, and more brutal than any explosion of gore. The film's final showdown leaves Billy dead and Pat Garrett alone, having killed his friend for a law that's already fading. There's no moral victory here, just resignation. The director was known for bloody spectacles, but here he focuses on the death in a world where the old codes don't mean much anymore. The result is a Western that's both poetic and unflinching. Proven brutality isn't just for the body counts. It's the slow realization that the West is dying, and everyone in it is just trying to find a place to fall.
Adios, Pat.
Adios, Bill. Don't press your luck. I'm worried about my luck.
Try to get your tongues. Hey, come on, Nick. Show us what you got in there. Yeah. Oh, stick out your tongue.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh. Now, bite him, Nick. See that? Bite him. He can't do a damn thing. Look at this, miss. I got a hold of him. He can bite. Bite him, bite him.
This movie's been overshadowed for years by its box office disaster reputation, and Heaven's Gate has since been reevaluated as a masterpiece, and a brutally realistic one at that. This was based on Johnson County War, and it depicts hired guns slaughtering immigrant settlers with a level of chaos and blood that still stings today. The director spares no one in showing how the powerful crush the powerless. The brutality isn't just in the action, it's in the long build-up, where you realize exactly who's marked for death, and nothing will stop it.
You've been a friend, Nate, so I'll come straight to it. It's getting dangerous here, and I want to leave.
By the time the killing starts, everything else is just suffocating. It's easy to see why audiences in 1980, they weren't ready for this. They expected a prestige Western. What they got was a slow burn indictment of greed, privilege, and violence that refused to offer any comfort.
I hope they did not hurt Ella. The house is all fired. Goodbye, Ella and Jim, if I never see you again. Nathan D. Camp.
Who's the fella who owns this shithole?
Eastwood's Unforgiven might not be drenched in gore, but it's emotionally one of the heaviest Westerns ever made. The story follows William Money, an aging outlaw drawn into one last job to kill two cowboys who disfigured a prostitute. What starts as a simple bounty hunt turns into a grim meditation on what killing does to a person and how it just never really leaves you. The final act, it's unforgettable. Money walks into a saloon during a rainstorm, shotgun in hand, and just wipes out everyone standing in his way.
You just shot an unarmed man. Well, he should have harmed himself.
The violence is sudden, close, and awkward, exactly as it should be. There's no glorification, just the ugly truth of ending a life. And when it's over, Money's parting threat.
And I'm here to kill you, little Bill.
It's a warning from a man who's been to hell and knows how to drag others with him. Then stripping away the romance of the gunslinger, Unforgiven delivers the most brutal truth of all. The West was never about heroes. It was about survivors.
I'll see you in hell, Money. Yeah.
Alright, that's part one of a 3-part series on the most brutal Westerns ever made. Next time, we're diving into the grindhouse years. That's acid Westerns, spaghetti shoot-em-ups, and some downright nasty little cult numbers that are going to make these classics look tame. Lock and load, partner, and keep the reels rolling.
A lot of you folks have read this story, The Man from Laramie, in the Saturday Evening Post. Well, we made a picture about it out in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And here are some scenes from The Man from Laramie.